Breaking developments in a big trial happening down at the Douglas County Courthouse today. That's just about to wrap up. Closing arguments now underway at this hour in the manslaughter case against an Omaha surgeon. Dr. Mark Carlson is accused of racing another driver in September of 2023 before losing control of his high-performance Mercedes and slamming into another car head-on on Dodge Street by UNO. Crash data indicated he was going more than 100 miles per hour at the time of the wreck. 22-year-old Anna Bosma was killed instantly. She and her boyfriend were in Omaha from South Dakota for a weekend getaway. Today, the jury heard testimony from the last defense witness, the new boyfriend of Carlson's ex-wife. He told the court Mark Carlson had not been feeling well in the hour before the crash. The defense argues Carlson fainted that night and wasn't in control of his car on Dodge Street. Plenty